asset. And if current assets are less than current liabilities, that means if the difference is negative, then we say there is a working capital deficiency or a working capital deficit. And positive working capital is required to ensure that a firm is able to continue its operation, and that has sufficient funds to satisfy both the maturing short-term debts and upcoming operational expenses. And when we say there is an increase in working capital, we are saying that current asset there is an increase in current asset, or there is a decrease in current liabilities. Both cases indicates the increase of working capital. And when we come to the management of working capital, when we say working capital management, we are saying that a manager will be focusing on maintaining efficient level of both components of the working capital. That means the current asset and the current liabilities. And some of current assets are stock, bills receivable, and cash. And some current liabilities include bills payable, bank overdrafts, and creditors, or cash credits, and outstanding expense, etc. These are some components or some types of current liabilities. And when we come to the need for working capital, the main factor affecting profit is the magnitude of sales. But whenever you make a sales, the time to convert the sales might be large, or it may take a long time. That means you cannot convert a commodity into cash immediately. That means there is a time lag between the production and between the purchase of raw materials for producing a given product and providing those products in order to convert in terms of cash. And therefore, in order to fill this gap, we need working capital. And this is technically called as an operating cycle, which is the heart of the need of working capital. And when we see the working capital cycle, production company, let's consider manufacturing company, will have a cash, and that company will spend this cash on raw materials. And the raw materials will change into working progress. Then this finished products might be sold for the customers in credit basis. And this final product, that means is changed into sundry debtors, and it will be changed into cash again. It will be converted into cash again when when this data is mature. And between cash converted into product and again converted into cash, there is a time gap, and during this time gap we need a working capital. The basis for need of working capital is to fill this gap between the conversion of cash again. And the amount of required to be invested in these current assets, that I mentioned, is always higher than the funds available from current liabilities. That's why we need working capital. This is the main reason for obtaining our needing working capital. And when we come to the theory of working capital management, the nature of fixed asset and current assets differ from each other for different reasons. And these are some reasons why fixed asset and current assets are changing. I'm mentioning this because working capital is directly related with the current asset and current liability. Since there is a term of asset, we have to differentiate between fixed asset and current asset. The fixed assets are required to be retained in the business over a period of time, and this yield the returns over their life, whereas the current assets lose their identity over a short period of time. The main difference, the main difference between the fixed asset and the current asset arises in terms of the time duration in order to convert it. I mean, the time duration that we are going to use as a factor of production. And the second one is in case of the second difference between current asset and fixed asset. In case of current asset, it's always necessary to strike proper balance between liquidity and the profitability. There is, there has to be a good balance between liquidity and profitability, and this doesn't apply. This doesn't hold in the similar manner for fixed assets. Hence, it's necessary to manage individual components of current assets. These are stocks, bills receivable, and cash. We have to manage these things in a proper way. Thus, working capital management refers, in general, it refers to proper administration of all aspects that are included in the current liabilities and current asset also. And there are a number of factors affecting the working capital requirements. That means when we say there is a requirement for working capital, these terms will affect, or these terms will play their role. For example, the nature of business. If the business is a service, or if the business is manufacturing, or if it is a merchandise, the need of the working capital differs. In case of the service, this service, in the service business, there is no need of to hold inventories. So there is no blocked in filling inventory. So the working capital required might be minimized, or might be minimal. For example, services like public utility service, electricity works, infrastructure-oriented projects can be mentioned as a service business which needs a minimum amount of working capital compared to other business. In case of merchandise, since there is a need of holding inventory, or this inventory blocks some amount of money in terms of debtors, in terms of sundry debtors, then in order to fill, the gaps that we are going to be required to convert the sundry debtors into cash, we need working capital. And nature of business also affects the need of the requirements for working capital. In the terms of production cycle, if the production cycle is shorter, the requirements for working capital are also less, because the time we are going to wait for conversion of a product is less. Whereas it's reversed in case of the long-term production life cycle. And the business or trade cycle also affects the need for working capital. If the trade cycle or the business cycle is in boom, then the working capital requirement may be more, as the company may like to buy more raw materials. And this may increase the production and sales to take the benefit of favorable markets due to increased sales. There may be more and more amount of funds blocked in stock in the debtors. Similarly, in case of this business cycle, whether it is in boom or in depression, the working capital requirement is high. And similarly, in the first case, as I already said, in the boom case, the economy is in a good position, in a good condition, and the sales will be increased. For the sake of increasing sales, production will increase. Then inventory has to be. We have to hold high lot of inventory. And in case of depression, the working capital requirement may be high, as sales in terms of value and the quantity may be reduced. There may be unnecessary filling of stock without getting sold. Since it's in depression condition, then we have to hold some amount of, huge amount of inventory, because the sales is going to be less. Or if the debtors or the customers who purchase on credit basis might not be able to repay us in the needed time. And the other factor is terms of purchase and sales. In some situations, it might be custom, or it might be as a competition. The sellers might tend to extend more and more credit to customers. And when you extend more and more credit for customers, it results more amount is locked up in debtors or bills receivables, and this implies or this results in the higher requirements of working capital or increased working capital requirements. On the other hand, in the case of purchase, if credit such offers offered by if credit is offered by suppliers of goods and services, a part of working capital requirement may be financed by them, but it's necessary to purchase these goods or services on cash basis. The working capital requirement will be higher. And